Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a happy Thursday. Last time I was with you in the garage, I left off with the exhaust, which ended up taking a little bit longer than I had anticipated. I had to make a lot of trips to get pipe bent and to get clamps and little connectors and everything. It turned into a pretty rough time. But I eventually got it all in there. I've got my JBA headers on both sides. This is the driver's side with the drive shaft. And I've got the exhaust, made it around the drive shaft. And then made it over to this side where I connected them with an old piece of an exhaust, of the old original exhaust. And there's the passenger side. The side's nice and simple. And then back to my little muffler. And when I say little muffler, I mean little muffler. I had, in my last video, I showed you a thrush muffler. And when I tried to put that under here, it just didn't quite work out. It didn't quite fit. So I found an even smaller muffler. This one is a street flow muffler. It looks like the same basic type of construction as the thrush. But yeah, it's very small and it might be very loud. I don't know. Okay, actually, honestly, I do think it will be quite loud, but we'll just have to see how it sounds, I guess. I can always make some alterations and see if I can improve it, but that'll work for now. In addition to that, my cross piece turned out a little bit wonky. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but if it doesn't work out, I can take it to an exhaust shop, and they'll be able to do the same thing that I did probably in like an hour. Because, you know, they've got the equipment to bend exhaust pipe and everything right there. That would make it super easy. If you ever want to do exhaust work at home, I highly recommend an exhaust pipe bender. So with that, on to today's adventure, which will be bump stops and limit straps. I don't actually have the straps yet, but I can mount the mounts, and then I'll know the exact length straps that I need. But these are from TMR. I got adjustable ones because that seems like a really good idea with straps, because straps stretch and straps change length over time. So these adjustable ones seem like a great idea. These bump stops, I went with these rubber type basic bump stops because I'm planning on doing mostly slow rock crawl type things, and I just didn't understand why would I want really fancy, you know, really expensive king bump stops or any kind of hydraulic bump stops when all they're supposed to do is keep the axle from coming up too far and hitting anything or damaging anything. These will do that job just great. And since I'm not doing the Baja 1000 through the desert and having the axle bounce up really fast, these should do the trick just fine. Now, I realize that I may not absolutely need limit straps because I'm not doing anything high speed, so the axle's not gonna be dropping out really super fast or anything ever, but my axles are extremely heavy, especially with the wheels and tires on, and I plan on putting a lot of trail miles on this rig after it's all built. And the only thing holding up the axle, as many of you I'm sure know, is the shock on two sides. And it's a heavy duty shock, it's rad flow, it's high quality, but I think over time, it might cause a problem, having all that weight constantly yanking on that shock. So I would just rather use a limit strap and just take that worry out of the equation. I am going to start on the rear axle, and I'm going to do something that's maybe a little odd. It's pretty crowded up here on the frame, all out here, and even on the back of the frame. It's pretty well taken up. So what I'm going to do is take my bump stop, and instead of mounting it on the frame like that, I'm going to flip it over and flip it around, and I'm actually going to mount it on the axle, on the truss, and it'll come up and contact the frame from the axle. And I obviously cannot just weld these onto the axle, because you can't weld on this because you'll melt all the rubber and it wouldn't even be straight. So I've got to build a little stand to go on top of the truss for both sides. And I'm building those out of some 1/4 inch plate. I've got some pieces cut out and some holes drilled for the mounting screw on the bottom, and then some feet to make them level on top of the truss. And just like that, there they are, ready to go on the truss. I trimmed a little bit off of this bolt here so that it's short enough so they can get a nut on there after it's mounted on one of these like that. So there you have it. Here's the passenger side and the driver's side. That's not fully compressed, but makes good frame contact. So now that the bump stops are all set, I just need to place this upper mount for the limiting strap right here, and the lower limiting strap bracket is going to go right here. Oh, did I mention that winter is coming? There it is. Alright guys, pretty simple for the rear here. There's my lower bracket and my upper bracket, and at full droop there's 16 inches between here and here. And basically the same thing over here on the passenger side. Lower bracket, upper bracket. And now with the back all done, it's time to move on to the front where there is even less room to put anything. But luckily, I was able to order this kit. Just kidding, that's not a kit. I cut all this stuff out of 1/4-inch steel. I'm gonna build some brackets to mount these bump stops to, and also to mount these limit strap brackets to, all in one bracket. Alright guys, well here they are, my custom bump stop and limit strap brackets that are gonna weld right onto the frame. Just goes like this basically. Just sits on there. So your bump stop's down there, and then the limit strap is gonna go right here, just like that. Pretty slick. So here's what all that looks like on the vehicle. Here's the bump stop and the bracket for the limit strap. This is going to contact the axle on top of the truss right here. And then I'm going to put the other bracket for the limit strap right here. And here it is on the passenger side. Pretty much the same thing. All right, so you can see that the truss is angled down, especially on the driver's side. So the bump stop won't hit it straight. So what I'm going to do is create a little foot right here, shelf, I don't know what you want to call it, that the bump stop will actually land on squarely. And again for that, I'm going to stick some 1/4-inch steel together, just like that. Alright guys, well I've got everything in there now. Here's the passenger side, and you can see the lower bracket here, upper bracket. They're pretty close together. Hopefully that works out. But you can see the pad here for the bump stop, pretty nice, looks great. And over here on the driver's side, pad for the bump stop. These two, this is at full bump. This is as close as these can possibly ever get. But yeah, I like that a lot. Now this is for when these bump stops are for when the axle, the entire axle straight across is at full bump. And that honestly shouldn't happen too often. And also with these pads here, they're set pretty minimal. So the engagement with the bump stop and the pad doesn't happen until fairly late in the stroke of the axle. So if I need to make this pad a little bit taller, it's super easy because this is just 1/4 inch steel. I can add another 1/4 inch of steel to it, or whatever I need to do to make it a little bit more aggressive. But for now, this will work great. Now for the limiting strap, I can see we're 14 inches hole to hole here. So I can take that into account when I'm getting the exact length straps that I need. Now the straps that I get won't be exactly 14 inches. They have to be a little bit shorter because I have to account for a little bit of stretch. Now with the bump stops and the limit straps, it's arguable that they aren't 100% necessary, but I'm glad I've got them on there because the last thing I'd want to do is get back out on the trails and then be like, man, I wish I had bump stops or limit straps. So I'm glad I got them on there. Plus they're on the to-do list right there. So I can give that half a check mark and then finish that off when I get the brake lines on there. All right, guys. Well, I can't thank you enough for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and leave comments for me and all those kinds of things. It really helps out. And yeah, the work continues, and we'll see you next time.